let's find out if there's anything hot about this Cupra. Hello guys, and welcome back to the Volkswizard channel, and welcome to my first drive of a car I've been dying to drive for over a year, but it's the car Cupra did not want me to drive. It's the not so new now Cupra Born. So this car's been out for about a year. I've been emailing Seat PR, well, for a good few months after it was launched. I gave up in the end, asking them for a drive. I'd even go to Milton Keynes and drive it, and in the end they started ignoring my emails. So today we're going to find out why the Cupra Born is the car Cupra did not want me to drive. Okay, before we have a look around the outside and the inside, let's have some statistics on this Cupra Born. So this is the electric car from Seat. It's a sister to the ID3. As you can see from the profile, it is basically an ID3, but Cupra have injected some flair to it, and the ID3 really needed some flair injected into it. This car is a VZ3, so top of the range, and it's quite a lot of money. I think £43,800, 45,800 as tested. It's got 2 grand's worth of options, which are the 20-inch Firestorm wheels, the Beat sound system, and the tech pack. The Dynamica bucket seats are a zero cost option, so we'll have a look at those in a second. The colour is Vapor Grey, and it's got the 230 horsepower e-boost 77 kilowatt hour battery. So the normal 77 kilowatt hour is 204 PS. This one's a little punchier, but it's all relative. This car weighs just under 2 tons. So think of it like a Seat Leon with a third of a Seat Leon on the roof. That's a bit unfair because the centre of gravity is nice and low, but it's basically a lot heavier than the Leon. It does 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, which sounds good, but you have to remember Seat or Cupra promoted this car as a hot hatch, so we will find out because we're at Millbrook and their hill course is just a few yards down there, so we'll go on that in a second. Now let's have a look around the outside and the inside. Well, it's not a pretty little thing, is it? The front looks like a bulldog chewing a wasp. It reminds me a bit of Tesla, which isn't necessarily a good look. We've got this copper, which is the Cupra sort of thing. I don't particularly like the colour. I don't like the logo. I don't like the high profile of it. Does it have to be this dumpy, really, does it? The 20-inch wheels, though, you know, are all right. They kind of don't look too small on this car, which is quite easy because it is quite a big car. I don't think the colour does it any favours either. You've got little wheel arch extensions here, presumably because we've got the optional wheels. Glossy seal cover there, which looks like it's going to get kicked quite a lot. A kick up there to make it look sporty. God, what have we got here? Some sort of effect to make it look less dumpy, but does it work? Probably not. Cupra Born in there. We've got a diffuser which kind of, you know, suggests it's a racy car, but the stats suggest otherwise. 4-width rear reflector like the new Leon. Yeah, if only it was a little bit lower. Maybe that'll come with later models. Maybe Cupra will have their own model rather than copy the dumpy ID3. Let's have a look inside. So yeah, the mats are good. Nice. They're making an effort, and that's what we want. It's not got that public convenience feel of the ID3 and ID4. I'm really, really pleased to report that. So this is lovely. This isn't bad. That's really nice. That's good. That's good. That's good. That feels quite good. Seats are great. I mean, they're not the most sporty bucket seats, are they? No wonder they're a no-cost option. But yeah, it feels a lot better than ID3. Look at that Alcantara. In the back, we have loads of room, yeah, loads of room. This is super comfy. I mean, there might have been a midget sitting in the front here, but actually it's in my driving position looking at my driving seat, so no, it's good. Dark headliner for that hot hatch look, they say. Yeah, no, honestly, it is significantly better than ID3, and that's good, because ID3 really doesn't look like a VW. In here, charging cables and a big battery underneath the floor there. Okay, let's have a look at the cockpit. So like ID3, you've got this twister here, which isn't immediately obvious, but you get used to it. Again, you can't really see that, but you'll learn. Electric seats, which are pleasant, folding mirrors. This all looks okay. That looks a bit cheap compared to that, which is a bit Skoda-y, having Alcantara next to cheap plastic. It could be worse. There's a copper in there. You know, this is a nice cabin. Blimey, I'm amazed. But nice interiors do not make the hot hatch. So I think it's now time to go and drive. After a lot of waiting and a lot of asking, the Cupra Born. Okay, the starting process will probably be familiar to a lot of you guys by now. So put your foot on the brake and then actually just select drive. You don't need the button down the side here. Should point out we've got some snazzy stainless pedals, but basically it's ID3 in here, apart from this very styled steering wheel with a Cupra button on it that seems to promise a lot, so we'll just use that, I think. Driver profile, individual configuration, DCC. So we've got dynamic chassis control, which is great news with a big car like this. Okay, so we're definitely in Cupra mode now. Let's find out if there's anything hot about this Cupra. Okay, we're in drive. Vroom, 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 vroom. Welcome to Millbrook's Hill Course. Big ups to SMMT, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, for bringing everybody here once a year to just drive anything and everything. There's loads of cars that I want to drive but just don't have time to, like an old Porsche 928, an old 911, Fiat 500, a Bath, or 695 or 595. But I'm sticking to the cars that I think are important for the channel, and there's no getting away from it. The Cupra Born is really, really important. I drove the ID3 when it came out, I think September 2020, that early, and I didn't hate it. I didn't particularly like the interior. It was full of bugs, which this one doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I liked it as a normal car. It didn't set my pants on fire, but it was a nice drive. The brakes are a little bit weird. I've done a couple of brake fluid changes recently. They're the kind of pedal you hope you don't get after you've done a brake fluid change on a normal car, because we've got regen on. There is a certain rightness about this car, but only in the context of 2-ton cars. It feels great. There's no real steering feel, and it kind of feels slightly unwieldy. And this isn't even one of the bad corners. Didn't really like that bump, but I suppose we are in the hardest mode. Body control ain't so good though. And then we're up to the 50-mile-an-hour limit for this corner. And no, it just... ID buzz coming the other way. This is a bit extreme, this road, I have to admit, but in the short space of a few miles, a bit of funny ABS then, I can get a feel for a car. And I can imagine it on the road. I am going to review this car as if we're on a road, not on a test track that's gnarlier than the Nordschleife. It goes up this hill okay, you know, it's got a fair bit of torque, but it doesn't feel exciting. And bearing in mind this is the top dog. No. No, it's just not a car you can kind of gel with on. Whoa. On a road like this. Again, the brakes feel really weird. We're not going to take off on this jump, are we? Whoa. I do keep on operating these steering wheel buttons, I've got to admit. Yes, well guys, that wasn't the most exciting of drives, and there's no noise. Got some sort of warning, common one, traffic hazard alert or something. Yeah, it leaves me on this very hot day kind of feeling cold. Anyway, now let's go and see how the car cruises on the high-speed bowl, which is more of its natural sort of element, more typical of, say, cruising on a motorway, which I'm sure these cars will do a fair bit of. By the way, I haven't talked about range because it's not actually in the spec sheet, and whatever is in the manufacturer's press packs generally is a bit exaggerated. So yeah, I would suggest you test drive one and get a feel for the range yourself, particularly on a cold day. Okay, on to Millbrook's famous high-speed bowl. We've got 99 miles per hour top speed, and we can legally do 100, so let's VMAX the Born. We've got enough range, I think. 141 miles, let's see if we can get through that pretty sharpish then. It picks up well, it's super quiet, it's a great cruiser. It feels really stable. I mean, that's 96, bloody hell. Mustang. I got my foot to the boards. 98. Just being aware of some traffic joining. Come on, let's see it light up. 100! So yeah, this is where these kind of electric cars work really well in the normal usage, normal people use them for, apart from obviously the range issues. Okay, it's a bit clear now, so let's 101. Sorry guys, I'm speeding. I was going to say I could do this all day long, but judging by the range diminishing, it's probably not true, so yeah. Yeah, so guys, it's pretty simple. If you want a hot hatch, buy a hot hatch with an internal combustion engine while you still can. Keep it forever, maintain it better than you've ever maintained a car before, because you'll never be able to buy another one. And if you want a daily that's nice but not sporty, this isn't a sporty car, is it really? But it's a nice daily. It's actually well finished, much better than ID3. We've even got some stitching behind here, which is interesting. Yeah, I like it. I just wish it wasn't trying to be sporty, you know, because it feels a bit sad. But as a car, it's great. I mean, that pickup, it's good. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my first drive of the Cupra Born. I'd love to spend a bit more time with one, so if the guys at Cupra UK would like to loan me one for a bit, then yeah, I'd like to just, you know, see if it works as a daily, but it ain't a hot hatch. As ever guys, thanks for watching. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.